how much have you seen medicine advance with technology, that things that used to be one way, whether it's heart attacks, Alzheimer's, how much is the medical frontier being altered and changed by the introduction of technology, not to mention AI?
Great question, and I want to highlight something that you said, because people need to hear this. When you talked about being strong and what was going on in the inside, that resonated with me, because I have this conversation all the time, and people go to the movies, and nowadays we have these big theaters and there's loud booms, and I like Top Gun because Tom Cruise is in this, this fast machine that's speeding beyond the speed of sound, and the bullets or the missiles are flying, and people get this sense that they know what Tom Cruise is going through.
Right.
But I explain that when I'm in the operating room and your loved one is bleeding out and I'm trying to figure it out, watching the movie is one thing, but neurohormones, epinephrine, stress. So while you're cool on the inside, that doesn't mean that your body isn't releasing cortisol,
right,
that it's not secreting insulin, that it's not secreting catecholamines. So that stress internal is happening whether external you're as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important, because a lot of men, particularly black men, we feel like when we build up our muscles,
yes,
that somehow we don't recognize that we can be having internal stresses that are affecting our organs.
I would add to that too, that we live in a culture and a society where women pride themselves on being a strong black woman. I'm a strong black woman. Sometimes you can be strong to your own detriment. Getting stronger on the outside doesn't mean that you're getting better on the inside.
Correct.
And that's what I learned, that no appointment, no date, nobody being an empath coming to the rescue of other people should supersede you taking the time to take care of yourself. When you look at the taking care of yourself, and we're seeing somebody my age, you kind of expect my age, my stress level, my schedule, my traveling, all of that, it makes sense that would happen. But we're seeing young men, young women who are having heart attacks in their 40s and in their late 30s. What is it what we're eating? Is it how we're living? What is causing that increase, that incline in fatalities?
I think you've hit on something, and I'm a good listener. You asked me about the technology, so the computers are making us learn everything faster.
Right.
Medicine is changing dynamically. Things that we used to do, now that we've got AI and the internet and the computations of computer, they have explained things in ways we have never seen. So the frontier is going to be less and less invasive. We're using robots now to operate.
Right.
We're using computer algorithms and AI to make diagnoses. We're using it in the field of radiology to make predictions, to look at films. So that answers your question that you asked. Now, as far as the second part of it with the young people, yes, our food supply is contaminated. Grandma's beans used to grow in the garden.
Right.
And my grandmother had hogs. They killed them hogs. I remember my grandmother would go out, my dad's mom would go out and grab the chicken and wring that chicken's neck. If you had to do that now, Chick-fil-A would go out of business.
Right.
Because nobody's going to wring that chicken neck.
Right.
So the food has been mass produced. And you didn't ask me this, but I will tell you. So I have college age kids. And one of the things that the young people that hear this need to know is people think that because we now have legalized production of marijuana, that it's safer. Okay, the THC in marijuana has gone from, some people estimate, from 3% to 30%. The fields that they are growing now are being fertilized. So you think that, when back when the gangsters were doing it, they couldn't fly a crop duster over there and fertilize their field.
Right.
So I mentioned organophosphates, pesticides, all of the things that are in the food. We have an addiction to sugar in this country. High fructose corn syrup is in everything. So the kids are eating these chemicals, these dyes, these sugars. So we have people like Chadwick Boseman, who at a very young age, the Black Panther, dies of stage 4 colon cancer. When we can put people, send them to the moon, we misdiagnosing a preventable and curable disease in him. So the food supply, We all drink out of plastic bottles. There's radiation from our phones. I mean, we could go on and on and on. And then there's stress. And then we don't exercise anymore. We're sitting in these chairs. We're in front of the computers. We don't go out in the field and work. So those things are combining to increase the incidence of colorectal cancer, breast cancer, mental illness. All of it is happening at a younger age in a population that did not have the benefit of we had of having more natural food.
The other thing that I think is important, you mentioned Chadwick Boseman. I think that we glorify talent and we don't separate talent from the person. And because he was so extremely talented,
Correct.
extremely gifted, extremely promising, that sometimes talent can be a distraction from healthcare and taking care of yourself, and you lean into your talent, but you don't understand that health is the new wealth. And if you don't have a healthy body, no matter how successful you are, you won't be able to spend it. You're going to leave it to somebody if you don't take care of yourself.
Well, I don't want to get us in trouble, so I'm going to be very careful what I say, but we have very high profile, prominent people in this country that eat things like McDonald's every day. And I have friends that own McDonald's, so I don't want to just be disparaging because I that's not my point. My point is that to what you've just addressed, being talented does not mean that you eat well or that you sleep well or that you drink well. Being talented means that people celebrate you for your talents, and it does not always correspond to being able to understand what is a healthy life. How much should you be sleeping?
Right.
What should you be eating? What should you be taking in? Fast food. I'll just say this, Bishop. Anything that's in plastic that you can put in a machine and leave for 60 days has to have been embalmed, preserved in order for it not. You can't put an apple in a vending machine and leave it there for 3 months.
Right.
But you can put that thing they've manufactured and processed and put in there. Our kids are eating processed food.
They're eating processed food. And another misnomer that seems to be changing, wealthy people or famous people or political figures are said to get the best health care, and in some cases that's true. But when you look at LeBron James' son, all of that wealth and all of that success did not stop him from having a health event that was almost catastrophic.
Yes, and they're pushing these young athletes now. These kids are now in these select teams where when we grew up, we played baseball, we played football, we played basketball. Now these kids at a very young age are getting diagnosed or being directed because everybody's trying to produce the next Venus Williams, the next Tiger Woods.
Yes.
So they take their kids and they super specialize them and they only do one thing.